And welcome back, YouTube. This is Booster Box Buster here with another fantastic video. Today, I'm here to share with you my Final Fantasy Creatures Volume 2 Collection Showcase. That's right. I recently picked up the entirety of Final Fantasy Creature Set Volume 2, and I gotta say, some of these miniatures are absolutely fantastic. No, what am I saying? All of these miniatures are absolutely fantastic and definitely worth adding to your collection, especially if you are a Final Fantasy fan of the 7, 8, 9, and 10 era, which those are the ones I grew up with, so those are the ones that mean the most to me. Alright, without too much further introduction, let's get started here. So first up, representing Final Fantasy IX, we have the living Eldion City, Alexander. I have got to say, this is a really cool miniature. One thing I do wish that this had that it doesn't is the wings that appeared in Final Fantasy IX as the protection, but I do understand that this is a very heavy miniature as is. To add the wings would just make it that much more expensive for them to make, and they probably didn't really have the budget at the time to include that. But to just have the living Eldion City itself, Alexander, is fantastic. Beautiful. Look at that. Just a beautiful miniature overall. And here is its collector's card with instructions how to build it on the back. Like I said, I do wish it had the wings, but I also understand why they did not include it, because that would just raise the price of it quite a bit. And up next, representing Final Fantasy X, we have one of the coolest summonings from that game. Bahamut. Just look at this. Absolutely badass. This one, I did struggle a little bit putting together. This particular shoulder wing demon thing here, this one in particular did not want to stay on, so I did have to resort to gluing it. But we got it done eventually. Look at the gorgeous red tipped wings going into the black, going into like the dark red in the middle there, going to the purple. Just beautiful color. That is Bahamut. Super amount of detail. I love it. And then staying with Final Fantasy X, we have what some consider the ultimate... Sorry, that got super out of focus there. Let me readjust that. Is that better? Nah, not quite. A little bit. One more time. Come on. Focus for me, baby. Focus for me. That's looking... Nah, it's still not 100%. Jeez, why is it not working? There we go, that's better. Alright. Representing Final Fantasy X, probably what most consider the second best summoning from the game. We got Anima. Unfortunately, you don't have the mirror, the underside of Anima, where she absolutely goes all ballistic on the enemy. But this is the main portion of the Aeon itself. I love the little red swirling effect at the bottom there. That's so cool. The beautiful blue shell that unleashes Anima herself. And it was so cool that they allowed you to actually get Anima in the game instead of it just being a boss's Aeon. You actually got to recruit it later on. Spoiler for those who have not played Final Fantasy X. But if you're watching this, you probably played it. Alright. And then we will finish off the tin set by sharing with you. Now, something that I was very surprised actually got a miniature pizza merchandise, considering that it was kind of like, not the final boss of the game, but close to it. We got Braska's final Aeon. Just a really beastie figure here. The purple going to the gold with the white and almost like red Oni-ish type hair at the top. Really cool. The giant sword being held to the side there. By the way, this was the other miniature I had issues with. That particular sword hand did not, literally, did not want to stay in place. Every time I attached it, it just fell right out. Like the hole was a little bit too big for the peg. Giggity. Yeah, so I had to resort to super glue to hold that into place, but it's holding rather well, I would say. Look at that detail. Beautiful miniature. Definitely worth adding to your collection if you're a Final Fantasy X fan. That's Braska's final Aeon. Apologies if my fingers look a little bit not the best. Because of the glue I had to use, some of it did get transferred. So I tried to wash it off the best I can, but sometimes some residue is left behind. Well, with that out of the way, let's move on to the next cool miniature on the block. From Final Fantasy IX, we have the King Behemoth. Another purple and orangish red to match Braska's final Aeon there. Look at that face, though. Here, let me focus it in. Focusing. There we go. That with the horns is so cool looking. I think I just got a little bit too close to the camera there. That was the issue. The raised arm. The tail that's ready to whap you. The muscular, just the rippling muscles showing on here. Just a really cool miniature overall. That is King Behemoth. And then staying in the realm of Final Fantasy IX, we got the Lich. This was, I believe, the protector of the Earth Temple? Created by Kuja. Kind of a cool looking, menacing miniature there. Now this guy, I have to say, would work fantastic for any D&D campaign. This would be a great end boss to any D&D campaign. Just look at the menacing power of this guy. The dual wielding swords, all the rib cage going up there, The face, just such a cool miniature. You even got the sheaths on the back to show that much attention to detail. The rippling miniature black cape that's tattered. Such a cool mini. Even got the helmet on top there. That is the Lich. Alright. And then up next, we're traveling to Final Fantasy VIII with the Sorcerer, Adele. She junctioned Rinoa. This was the fight where you basically had to keep Rinoa alive in order to defeat the boss. I thought that the wings on this particular miniature would be a pain and I had to glue them, but I did not. Believe it or not, I did not have to glue the wings. They actually stayed in place with no issue whatsoever. Adele. Quite the opposing miniature. Not my favorite boss from Final Fantasy VIII, but I understand why they did make a miniature, because she served the purpose, basically being manipulated by Ultimacia for the time compression ability. Now we're going to move on to Final Fantasy VII. The lone miniature from the set from 7, however, probably one of the coolest miniatures out of this entire set. I know I've been saying that a lot, but trust me, this one is probably my favorite mini. And I do have a 7 bias, so sue me, whatever. And I believe the only piece of merchandise this particular boss has ever gotten, we got Bizarro Sephiroth. Many people ask, what is Bizarro Sephiroth? And honestly, I don't really know. I always thought of him as fusing himself with one of the weapons that the world used as its protection mechanism. And fusing himself with that to create a cocoon as like a barrier for safer Sephiroth, to try to build up the energy for safer Sephiroth. Because if you look down here, you do kind of see this feathered-like cocoon, and that could be the wings to safer Sephiroth. And this does very much, the rest of the body does very much look like a weapon, one of the ultimate weapons from Final Fantasy VII. You know, it kind of looks like a combination of like the Emerald weapon combined with the ultimate weapon. You got Sephiroth's face right there. You got Genova on top. Just a beautiful miniature. Super happy to have this. And I believe the only piece of merchandise that Bizarro Sephiroth has ever obtained. Did I show the back? I don't remember if I showed the back. Sorry. Beautiful miniature. Oh. I was afraid of that. Had to move him over a little bit. That's okay. Alright. And with that, we arrive at the final 2 miniatures of this video. And they're both from Final Fantasy VIII. First up, we have the legendary Odin. Odin is one of the Guardian forces from Final Fantasy VIII. You obtain him from a particular island in which you actually have to get to Odin by... It's like a minor puzzle-solving quest that you have to do, and you have to do in a certain time limit in order to prove that you are worthy of having Odin as part of your party. Very cool miniature, black and silver. And then we arrive to the final miniature, and that's it's a horse. Very cool horse. From Final Fantasy VIII. But that's not the only thing about this horse that's unique. Let me show you something. You can take Odin, which was a different miniature, and this horse comes with a different pair of Odin legs. You can attach this particular set of legs to Odin. Why won't it go in the hole? There it goes. Okay, I just had it twisted a bit. It comes with the peg where you can place Odin riding his legendary steed into battle. Now that, my friends, is ingenuity. This particular horse was the special hidden miniature from the set, and they actually give you instructions on to how to do that. You take Odin, which was you take the top of Odin, which is you have to get from a different blind package. You attach a new set of legs, then you can attach them straight to the horse, which is honestly a really cool out-of-the-box idea. Granted, you had to get lucky to pull both Odin and the horse from the blind packages, but if you did both, you were able to attach the two, just like this. That's a really cool idea. I like that. And then you have Odin riding his horse to cut the enemy down. Really cool. And that, my friend, is the final miniature from this set. Let me know in the comments down below what your particular favorite miniature is. Mine definitely has to be Bizarro Sephiroth. After that, it's so hard to choose, but Bizarro Sephiroth is my favorite. Let me know your favorites in the comments down below. For those of you wondering, yes, I do plan to have a Set 3 video sometime in the future, and I hope you look forward to that. Until next time, this is Booster Box Buster with the Final Fantasy Creatures. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a good final image for you guys here. Creatures Volume 2 Miniature Showcase. And I hope you look forward to Creatures Volume 3. Come on here. Why does it... I'm sorry, guys. I just want to get one good final image for you guys before I call it a video. There we go. With all that said, this is Booster Box Buster, and I'm signing out. Peace.